We are here and we are live for another edition of the Multifamily Investor Nation Summit Speaker Intro Series. With us today is Andresa Guidelli. Andresa, welcome to this series.
Thank you so much, Dan, for having me.
I hope I did not completely botch your name. Did I say it the right way?
No, you're totally fine. You're totally fine.
Okay, awesome. Well, one of the reasons why we're doing these speaker intros is so that people will be able to see and understand and kind of get a little bit of knowledge and background of who the different speakers are. And so I want you to get us started and kind of tell us a little bit about who you are and your background, and then go ahead and kind of tease a little bit about what you're going to be speaking on at the event coming up this week.
Yes, on the 18th. I'll be speaking on the 18th. So I want to see everybody there. So just a quick background about myself. I live in Philadelphia. I invest here as well. You can tell by my accent, I am from Brazil. So I was not born here. But I started investing here in the US in 2012. And my first property was a rehab that I lived in. And then later on, we started doing Airbnb while we were living in the property. And then after, we decided to move to another area and Airbnb that property full time. And I still hold that property until up to now. So since 2012, that property has gone through, well, you can tell the legislation changed so much. Here in Philly in 2015, we got all the regulations in place. So we went through the different times, I would say. And now I'm exploring multifamilies also with Airbnb. My background is in construction management. So I manage our own projects, new construction projects, and other investors' projects. So I bring that experience to the Airbnb side where people want to convert from long-term to short-term, but they don't know how to do that. So that's what I'm going to go over the presentation. Is this a good deal? Airbnb or not to Airbnb? How do I evaluate that if that's a good fit for my goals? And I think that that's the most and first question that I get from everybody. Does this property is a good fit for Airbnb or it's not? Because I hear all the numbers, everything sounds good, but does that fit my needs and where this property is located? So I'll give you a step-by-step on how to make that evaluation first before people jumping in.
Well, and I think, there's a lot of questions that come up when you start to talk about multifamily and Airbnb. Obviously, when you're talking about smaller multifamily, 2 to 6 units, somewhere around in there, 2 to 4 units. So the questions are a little bit easier to answer. But once you start to get into, 20, 30, 40, 100, 200 units, there's a lot more questions that come up. And I'm sure you'll be covering some of those questions during your session. And there's also some considerations to consider about, if you have a large multifamily, 100 plus units or more, what are your current tenants going to think about when they have people coming in and out on a, regular basis because they're more short-term rentals. The numbers, like you said, always look good because the short-term rentals definitely produce more revenue, especially from the projection standpoint. But I think you also have to make sure that it's being executed properly and also making sure that you are looking at the local down the road that could come back to bite you if for some reason you get a whole bunch of these things in place and all of a sudden regulation gets approved and you're out of business. Why do you feel like it's important for people to attend an event like this?
Well, you're going to have experts from completely different areas in relationship to multifamily. Because sometimes when you're investing in multifamily, either the small multi-owned apartment complexes, you just get familiar with one thing. It's like going to a bank and getting their loan only instead of going to a broker and having multiple options. So the difference for me for this event is that you are on your own home. You can be wearing your pajamas and still getting all the knowledge that you need. So it's just very convenient to me not having to travel and book a hotel and doing all of that and getting the information from people that are really doing the things that you're looking to do or exploring areas that you are aiming to do, but you have no question, no knowledge about it, and they can answer any questions that you put it out there. So having that access to me is priceless.
Well, and one of the things that people keep on emailing me and asking is what if I can't make all of the sessions? Am I going to be able to get the recordings? And yes, if you're a registered attendee, you'll be able to get access to all the recordings, even if you miss a session. And I will tell you that you're going to miss sessions, because the way we have this event lined up is that we have 2 rooms. We have Zoom room, well, not Zoom room, but we're using the Zoom platform. We have room 1 and then room 2, and so each speaker is going to have 75 minutes, and then each one of our panels is 75 minutes as well. And so there's going to be a lot of information packed into this event, for this 3-day event. We have a full team on the back end that's going to be running each room and the technology, and then making sure that as each session is finishing up, that we're rendering those videos and getting those links for those recorded sessions out to you as soon as possible. And then the other thing is people keep on asking me is are these pre-recorded? No, every single one of these is going to be live. And so these are going to be speakers all across the country and all across the world. They're going to be tuning in and coming into this from a live broadcast standpoint. Nothing is pre-recorded. So you have a promo code that you can use for your people who are watching right now, that if they're interested in signing up and registering, they can get $100 off. So what's that promo code?
Yeah, that's my name. So you can't forget that. It's A-N-D as in David, R-E-S-A, Andresa. So you go there and you add the code and you get the discount for the session.
That is awesome. And I want to thank you so much for taking the time to be here and kind of sharing a little bit about you and your background and what you're going to be speaking on at the event. And also thank you for speaking at the event coming up this week as well.
Of course, I'm looking to all of you. I'll be speaking on January 18th at 11, from 11 to 12:15. So I hope to see everybody there.
Thank you so much, Andresa. I appreciate it.